way to make payments.
The Grapevine on the Smooth Breakfast Show. Entertainment buzz with the gossip, local and global. All celebrity gist.
Me, my baby. Okay,
The
mic's up.
Grapevine on
Studio is
Smooth
live.
98.1 is brought to you by Verve, the rewarding way to make payments.
Hello. Good morning.
Good
It's
morning.
time
Yes,
for
it
the
is.
Grapevine.
Yeah.
Grapevine 981 here, brought to you by Verve on Smooth 98.1. I'm Ayo Racing.
And I'm Valentine.
And with us in the studio, and by the way, one of the passwords to today's show is that you have to dance. So when I introduced you, you had to do a little dance and a song. So you had to respond in a sing song. Val, did you sing when I
Yeah, I
introduced
did.
you? Okay.
I did both.
What did you do?
I sang and danced.
What did you do? How did you sing? What song did you?
I was humming too.
All right, okay, fantastic. So we have Chef Jeff 3000.
Good morning. I'm surprised you can actually see me because I'm in John Cena mode right now.
Well done.
All right, John Cena mode, as well as what's his name now? What's the richest comedian, Kevin Hart mode as well.
I wish, but I'm also in no coffee mode. Moving swiftly on.
All right, let's go on to Delphinator. Delphine.
How's it going, Lagos? It's the Delphinator here, aka Golden Brown Dodo.
I tell you,
She clearly had some coffee this morning.
she doesn't need coffee.
All right,
Internal ginger.
Ginger. All right, now to join the conversation this morning, you can send your messages to WhatsApp, YouTube, and of course on Twitter as well. I'd really advise you to go onto YouTube right now, subscribe, and watch what's going on in the studio. But if you'd like to know what's going or join the conversation through Twitter, it's at Smooth981 FM. Use the hashtag Grapevine981.
I was waiting for you to say freshly pressed.
I was going to say fresh.
The WhatsApp number, WhatsApp number for your messages is 0809 444 That's 0809 444 0981. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just type Smooth 981 FM Lagos in the search box. You find us there. And you've already given Twitter handle and hashtags. So.
And hashtags. Okay, so let's dive straight into our story. We have one song. We're going to be reviewing one song this morning.
Amen.
It's called. It's a new.
See, we know what the tea is back here about what's happening right now. So yeah. Okay.
All right. So the song is from South Africa. I'm really excited. We're doing something away from Nigeria, away from America, and coming to our family in Africa. So South Africa, DJ Zinkley. I can't say. Who knows how to say the name properly?
I guess that's a Zinley. I don't
Is
know.
you know that?
Zinkley?
Yeah, is that yeah. I tried
know
to
about
practice it, but I didn't get it. So she's featuring Muzzle and Withable for Umlilo in this song. Now, Umlilo is a new single song by the superstar DJ, featuring the vocals of the two people I've mentioned, and it's an Afro house music. Listen and tell us what you think.
And be blessed. I was gonna say that. So I respect myself. What do you call this genre again?
Afro house music. So that's DJ Zinle with Umlilo. Unfortunately, we didn't get to hear the vocals. But let me. I mean, we can play it so people can hear.
Usually that's the way it goes.
Yeah. No, but some songs they come in at the beginning with the vocals, but not this one. So let's hear your thoughts.
Well, Afro house music is definitely a vibe. I will definitely be playing this again sometime in my car, just vibing to it. I don't know what they're talking about in the song. I couldn't find the lyrics. But who cares? It's the beat that makes this song really. It's
Like
just
most Nigerian songs.
it's just exactly. It's just a song to vibe to, basically, like bob your head.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why I love South African music, because they're able to just take things to a variety of levels with the house music. Because over here we only have Niniola that's doing anything that's like this,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like I've heard this somewhere before, like an industry night, not industry night. What's the name of the thing?
Bugabri.
No, not that.
Oh,
I forgot what it's called right now.
Okay.
But it's a nice song, but there comes a point where I don't know if you listen all the way, where at some point, okay, I'm tired now. Like, sometimes these sort of songs are repetitive, but
Yeah.
that's in a good way.
Mm.
This one at some point, like, okay, we've had enough now. Let's just like change what else is on the radio right now. Let's switch. So yeah, but it is a good song. The beat is infectious. I do like it, but just a little too long.
Mm. I know it's for me it's a feel good song. Immediately the song just started and the beat hit and the voice came in. I just imagined men with the spares.
Okay.
Half
Wow.
doing your job. I just imagine myself doing that someday. Probably one of my on
That's
my
a
bucket
sight.
list.
I'm thinking about you mentally
Come
doing
on,
that.
do not do that.
Come on
No,
now.
I've already done it.
He'll
Don't
probably
underestimate
just
the
do a
skill.
Mafia Kizolo kind of thing. So,
Yeah, more like.
All right, so for me, this song, I mean, I think great vocals. That's what I was talking about her. I wish she had come in a bit. Well, it's part of the song. It's normal for her. But if you'd like to listen to the full song, by the way, go on to Twitter at Smooth91FM. We've tweeted the song and the link to the song for you to listen. And her voice for this song was fantastic. Obviously, that's why I think one of the things that South Africa can boast of, the two countries in Africa that have the greatest vocals, in my opinion, are South Africa and Nigeria. That's why I said in my opinion.
Okay.
It's open to debate.
Uh,
I think we are the two vocal powerhouses of Africa.
I
We
don't
need to
know about
give it
that
badge.
just yet. I'm
But
sorry.
fantastic music has come out from both countries. But again, you can.
Well,
you
what I can
disagree.
say is South Africa puts forward their great singers. We don't.
Mm.
We happen to just put them in hiding, like for open mic nights at Bukabiri or different spots or whatnot. But we don't put talent out there. We put entertainers.
Are you sure? So you're saying DJ Copy doesn't have?
We
like,
put
her song
entertainers.
with
Wait,
Shilton?
how did DJ Copy enter this conversation?
No, because she's just released a song. So him talking
Yeah,
about
but what?
Gelato.
No, I'm talking about artists in general. That's what I'm saying.
Why are we not reviewing that?
Yeah, we put artists in general.
Oh,
That's
we're
the
not
thing.
thirsty.
But really, I mean, to counter what you just said, Chef Jeff, Casper Yoves just recently said that he likes the way Nigerians celebrate their artists.
Yeah, we
and
talked
South
about
Africans
that.
don't do the same
I
thing.
remember that.
You know,
Well,
so,
the thing is that we celebrate our artists sometimes from being a fan, but sometimes we just do it blindly. Like we would do anything because we're green, white, green, which is a plus and a minus. Because at the end of the day, it means that there are certain things you lie to yourself about.
Okay. All right. So we're lying sometimes to ourselves. Anyways, I love the South African sound. Like Val said, the Afro house music for me, I love it. I think you don't have to understand the language, like you said,
to just vibe to it.
vibe.
No
to
one
it.
understands. I mean, a lot of people don't understand Fino, but we love Fino.
Exactly.
No, but I was going to say something about this song. Not a single word of English. Not even yes.
listen again.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
I
Yeah.
listened because it was one of the things I was going to talk about. That it's refreshing to hear something purely from their language.
Yeah.
We don't see a lot of that with indigenous music in Nigeria. You put in, just chip in a bit of English.
Although
There.
Ramide can give you that.
He's still.
Why did you have to throw that into?
Guys,
Okay.
focus, focus.
You're riding the Lamborghini trying to hop on an Okada bus or a bus ride or
come
something
on,
like that.
really? We're being diverse. Alamide is.
No, don't let the streets come for you.
Like, don't come to the mainland.
All right. Okay, so let's go into our stories for today. We have like Delphine, describe our stories for today in one word. Ish.
That's the word.
And I like them. Okay, let me go to the first one. So Osasi Godaro has taken off her husband's name from her Instagram page. It's no news. Well, for some people it might be news as to what happened between her and her husband. There was he brought their matter to the public sphere when he posted about her not being, in loose terms, being a responsible mother, leaving her child to go partying. And as a queen, she didn't say one word till today. The only statement it seems she's made is this name change. So she used to be proudly Osasi Godaro Ajibade, I think, on Instagram. And recently she's changed that name. What do you guys think about this?
They say less is more. But I'll leave it to you, Delphine, later.
I think the route that she has taken is
Yeah.
fantastic. Like, it's not anybody's business at the end of the day. It's her marriage. It's the guy who brought the matter to the, to the stratosphere and atmosphere. I like that she hasn't said a word, and it's obvious that she's moving on by taking off his name, so it's fine.
I love how we're actually keeping this short and sweet, and like visual signs are being given as well to keep it short and sweet.
No, it's
No.
not.
I mean,
to
I
you.
can't do a divorce story every single week because at the end of the day, it's like it just becomes like just that you don't know anything about and you're just speculating about. So that she's done this, she's keeping it short and sweet. We too should keep it short and sweet.
No, no. What the thing is, so take away from. Sometimes you don't look at the person, you look at the action. So this could be anybody else. I'm just talking about the process of moving on after a possible split with your partner. So just quietly in the dignity, we've seen a lot of breakups that have been messy. Maybe the person comes, they're throwing words, they're insulting each other. She was just quiet, and the only thing, and even not for the eagle-eyed piece, she didn't put it up there. My name has changed. Moving on, status, or giving subliminal messages. I think that's something to learn from. I don't know.
Which is why I said less is more, because sometimes to make the loudest noise, you have to actually say little, and even in terms of gestures. Now, but don't you find it interesting how most people give the most reaction to, things that are not their business and things that they do not have as much information as they would desire to?
No, that's just unfortunately a very popular thing in Nigeria. Like, people will just be like, "Yes, I knew it was going to happen from the moment that he proposed." There's always going to be
He just
something
deleted
along.
all
There's
the
like
pictures, something is wrong.
because a lot of Nigerians love like hatred. They love tabloid fodder.
I
That's
don't
the
think
honest truth.
Nigeria alone.
And it's not Nigeria alone, but we do know that it is a rampant problem. That's what the case is. So if when you're doing well, not a lot of people are talking about it. Once they just attached to it that they can gossip about, boom, they're all there. So it's nice when you can keep things quiet and not feed the masses.
Someone sent in a message on WhatsApp. It says, "Great beats, can dance to this all day." Reminds me of Bode Thomas. Oh, sorry, that's not her name. Sal is the one who sent in this message.
Did you say what
Bode Thomas.
Peter Tolufari said, "The sound is a typical South African vibe,
Yeah.
Afro house, right? Something Zodwa Wabantu would do a clip to. It makes me feel good nonetheless."
True. Zeke said, Zinle, house music. Ayo, why did you not play the entire song? I'm the biggest South African house music fan in Nigeria. I'm going to download it.
Send
Make
it to
sure.
piracy.
Yes, and make sure you give us credit. I heard it first on the grapevine.
Chini Godwin from Surulere said, "Okay, I literally screamed, 'What?' when I mentioned DJ Copy. We're talking vocal powerhouse.
I mean, yeah.
Not, let me
Yeah.
just stop here. Nice
Yeah.
song though. Jam. Chini Godwin said.
Hashtag free copy. That's the
Yeah,
hashtag. It was
that-
trending yesterday. Did you
For
guys
real?
see?
I
Yeah, it
didn't
was
see that.
trending.
It was?
It was trending. I wish the story were
Wow.
here, but just
Okay.
let's
Maybe I
just
should go do that song I've been thinking about.
There's
And
just
there
too
was
much
silence.
silence.
And
Let's
there
just
was
let's just move
silence.
forward. There's time being
Okay,
That's
spent.
the response.
There's
to
time
that.
being spent. Let's keep going forward.
All
Thank
right,
you
so
very much.
let's
White
move on
noise.
to Wizkid. So the Wheezy Boy has taken down all, or Wiz, no, the Wheezy
Sure,
Boy, or
Wheezy
Wheezy
Boy.
Boy.
Wizkid.
Oh,
Please go on.
Wizkid, Wiz. So he has taken down all the photos from his page on his Instagram page. He did this on Friday, 16th of August. And we know that he's not the first celebrity to do this. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you see, I think Tiwa Savage did that recently
She
as
did,
well.
yeah.
Yeah. Take down all their photos. Sometimes it's to start, new life, fresh page. But what do you guys do? You think he's trying to pass a message? Are we expecting a new album? Is this a statement?
I think he's just moving ahead with something new, maybe a new project. It's like a marketing gimmick that everybody in the book has done. I mean, I remember Blake Lively's movie that she put out, the something about a disappearing act, and she literally archived all her pictures, and that was like a statement to show that, okay, this is what this movie is about. And I thought it was a brilliant idea. I think that's probably what this kid is doing here.
But do you expect something as brilliant as that?
Well, I
I
don't know.
don't. To be quite, she added no.
I said I don't know.
I know. I think you added me. I just stopped at don't. I don't. I don't think
You
it is.
guys, chill.
Chef Jeff, what do you think?
I just think we'll know when we'll know. That's just the only thing. What more can you say about it? And then I don't know who writes these articles, but like, oh, maybe he's trying to announce a new hair look, and I'm like,
I didn't even see that.
No,
and I'm like,
but be honest. The stranger things have happened with celebrities, particularly eccentric celebrities like Wizkid.
Yeah.
I mean, stranger
Is
things.
Especially when you're
Wizkid
bringing the
I'm
eccentric?
sorry,
story
he's
from
not
Did you say
eccentric.
Wizkid is
I'm
eccentric?
sorry,
He
that's
can.
no,
Well, because
that
he
is
bought
not the
a
right
goat one
word.
time.
I didn't even know
That's
how
as
to
far
go.
as eccentric as I think he ever was.
No, but doesn't he do some funny things on his social? It's just random. Doesn't he post random stuff on
really?
his social media?
No, I don't follow Wizkid, so I don't
Maybe
know.
I'm putting it.
I would
to
say
a
maybe
level of-
someone like Techno is eccentric.
You
think
Those
so?
silly videos he
Yeah,
posts.
techno
Okay.
looks more eccentric
Yeah.
than Wizkid.
Speaking of,
Techno.
Do you want to talk about techno?
Yes.
Shall
Okay,
we?
very quickly. Oh, shortly. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about techno very
After this
shortly.
break.
But we're going to break. When we come back, techno in the news. We also have some young, talented Nigerian filmmakers who are definitely making a hit with their videos. And Kevin Hart tops the comedy list. Stay tuned.
A blend of only the best. Silky.
I can play on words, you guys. I just throw it in the body.
98.1.
We've never been scared of
To
the unknown.
Falari. Oh,
Because
okay.
in its mystery lies greatness.
Hi, everyone. Good. Wow. There we go. Is that a sign?
They don't want to see you.
Is that a sign?
They don't want to see you.
Question the answers and discover new possibilities.
Yeah, that's not gonna
No,
happen.
no, it's not
That's
gonna
not gonna happen.
Why didn't we review the song? Because he wasn't here.
No, the song is
That
3
was
years
more.
old.
The song is what, 3
3
years
years
old?
old. Yeah, but he didn't come that late. I think he didn't come before. He came for 8:13.
This is Shay Shay.
And you
Are listening to
too late.
Smooth 98.1.
Guilty trips, indulging, spoiling yourself,
Yeah,
treating yourself.
we'll take pictures.
It's called a lot of things,
Wait,
but at the
what?
end of the day,
You
it's
profound
one of these
jokes.
two things.
You want to take a picture
It's
with
you
someone who
making
songs from
yourself
30
feel
years ago.
better for the hard work. Let's call it a reward for all you go through every day. The traffic, an impossible
We'll
bus,
keep this standard
maybe
up.
an
Oh. If anybody
over-demanding
comes for
client.
8:30, we're not
It's
allowing them
making
in. As
up
long
for
as they come
taking a
late.
special
So just
someone
note.
off. Say
Because I will
something
not
wrong
forget.
because in that moment you were letting it out, failing to keep a promise, or maybe plain old showing up with
So
a
why
friend,
did this end up in the
showing them
stories?
how important
Which one?
they are in
The
your
Choke
life.
song was 3 years old.
Whatever it
The what?
may
Like
be,
me picked it.
what really
This,
makes
yeah, I
you
think
pop
she must have made
is the
him.
assurance that when
She
the
probably didn't
moment
realize
comes,
it was 3
you
years
step
old,
into
or
the
maybe to
store,
play it
restaurant,
as an
spa,
introduction to him.
mall, or the
You
game
know, if he
arcade,
was coming
and you've
like,
gone
oh,
through the
this is
hassle
he hasn't
of
released
choosing
anything
the
recently.
perfect gift
So
or the
again,
perfect
there would have
meal.
been no point.
Queued up at the
For
payment
him being
stand
here.
till your
Yeah.
turn comes.
To
When you
gist with
bring
us
out
now.
your Verve card to pay, it will go
Just
through
wow.
always.
No,
No network errors,
today is
no
wonderful.
miscommunication.
Very
Like,
powerful.
Everything about today is just
Rely on two for you. As you
interesting.
imagine, your Verve transaction is swift.
Okay, so
and
we're coming
effective,
back
your purchase is made.
in
And as you
a
walk
minute.
away, you feel lighter, happier even, because a sense of satisfaction would creep in and you would enjoy the knowledge that you can reward yourself, indulge, or make up for whatever it is. That is why I use Verve, honestly. That certainty that my payment will always go
Christ.
through.
What?
When
What
I
she
look
said?
at my
I heard that
guilty
too.
pleasure,
Yes, definitely.
No, no, no. What did she say?
You people do not hear it. It's not from Smooth FM.
You will need to enjoy.
Wow.
I love the
Come
show
up with the
today.
assurance that you'll
It's
get
not
what
from
you
Smooth
want
So
FM.
when you want it.
the person.
Ask your bank
Who-
for a Verve card.
She certainly
Visit
knew that she was not going to.
So who approved it?
www.myverveworld.com. That is
It's a very good question.
www.myverveworld.com to discover the reliable awesomeness a Verve card offers.
Wow.
I'm so happy today.
Alright, let's go.
Oh, I miss Miss
On the grapevine, baby. On
the grapevine, baby.
On the grapevine, baby. On the grapevine, baby.
Okay, we'll do the techno story next because this one I don't understand it. Okay, mic's up. Studio is like.
Wait for the remix. I'll be featured there.
I was gonna say, did I just hear Chef Jeff's voice?
Mhm.
And Mist, if you're listening, we miss you. We hope you're doing well. We love you.
Yeah.
We can't wait to, have you back once in a while to come and to analyze some of our stories this morning. If you're just tuning in, this is the Grapevine 981 here on Smooth 98.1. And before the break, we've looked at DJ Zinle's new song called Umlilo.
Mhm.
Afro house music. I also talked about Osasi Igodaro removing her last name from her Instagram page, and of course, Wizkid deleting all his pictures from Instagram. Now let's talk about techno. So techno produces "Won't Be Late," a new song for Sway Lee and Drake. Big news here from techno. On Thursday, August 15, Nigerian artist and producer Techno was announced as one of the producers of Drake's song featuring Sway Lee called "Won't Be Late." Now the song was released as a double one with Sextasy, a new single by Sway Lee, who is better known as part of the group Ray Sremond. Now we've seen in recent times great collaborations with Nigerian musicians and international acts. Of course, the biggest being the Spirit album.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
I feel like because it seems like Africa is the next frontier in terms of like music and the whole Afrobeat vibe and trend, and everybody wants to jump on it. I think that's what's playing out here. Either way, big moves for techno. I'm super proud of the fact that he's not just an artist, like he's actually a producer as well, and he's putting his name on the map for that. So, here to him.
I mean, at the end of the day, what you're gonna that's my catchphrase on the show, isn't it? Yeah. Techno does a good job with the beat over here, and we're talking about it as though the song is not out, which we should actually be reviewing the song itself, to be honest.
Yeah.
And the main highlight of all the hype that's going on with this song is that Drake uses the word IKEBE and Bakassi in this song actually. So that's a little bit of the Nigerian thing going on there. What I feel is going to be the highlight here, if we have international acts jumping on the Afro beat, is that you're going to be seeing the quality of writing that we should be exhibiting ourselves, and not just repeating one word, and then that's the end, and that's the end of the song, basically. Exactly. So so let's not get overexcited that they're jumping on the Afro beat, because at the end of the day, it means that those of you are trying to sell market need to up your game, which is what I've been saying for a while, anyway. But yeah, I mean, the Spirit put things in the limelight, but it's not the first time that Drake has had a Nigerian collaboration. He's had a lot of interest in artists for a long time. And the song itself, it starts out, I mean, when it starts with Sway, I mean, like, it's basic, and then Drake comes and makes it a little bit better. And then at some point, you're like, okay, this is going on for a bit too long, kind of thing. And that's the weird part, because it's just like two verses.
Yeah.
That's just the weird part. So check it out. The song is actually out already. You can just type it onto YouTube. You can see some of their videos and stuff like that, and let us know what you think.
This is what speaks to the difference between a beat maker and a music producer. A beat maker is somebody who just puts the beats together and leaves it to the artist to interpret and sing on or lay his vocals on, as the case may be. But a music producer sometimes goes to the extent of even telling or teaching the artist how to sing.
Yes.
Sing to the beat and sing and add some lyrics to it. So, which is what I give to techno in this sense. And it's interesting that you mentioned Spirit album, because it was featured as one of the producers who worked on that album as well.
Yes, and we also know how terrible that particular song was. We talked about it in full detail.
Well, kudos to techno, moving beyond Lekki Koi Bridge.
Yeah.
Doing greater things on a global spectrum.
There were no polls in this song.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to have a big comeback, this would have been a better one, in my opinion, to the debacle that happened on, Lekki Toll Gate, because this is big news. I was going to ask the question that which would you rather, to produce a song for an international collaboration or to be featured on that song?
You know what? Featuring sometimes gives you more exposure, all right? Because we're not always, in general, globally, producers don't always have a lot of credit going to them, unless you're like a Timberland, you're like a Dark Child, you're like a David Guetta kind of person. Not everybody gets that spotlight shone on them. That's why in Nigeria, for instance, they always tell you directed by before the song has even started, maybe even produced by before the song started, because they know once the song is over, you've forgotten all of those different bits there. So I think, but if you can manage to do both and do them well, or well enough, so to speak. I'm not going to call Timberland the greatest rapper at all in any way, shape, or form, but you can feel his presence when he's on a song, even if he might be talking about some kind of rubbish. We were waiting for Shock Value 3. That was what we were waiting for, and there was up and that he was doing Timberland Thursdays, where free music was coming out every Thursday from him, and then Kanye was doing Kanye Wednesdays or something like that back in the day.
Sunday morning service.
So, but I don't know. But anyway, yes, if you can manage to do things both ways, whether you can produce, be featured on, then it's more exposure for you. It shows you more as an artist. Remember when we had what's his name here on the show, and he was talking about when he did the cover of Brown Skin Girl, which I mean, he was doing more beats then, and he comes on and we were like, you've been hiding this voice under all of those beats.
He's actually done a new song, the cover to the Blow My Mind song. Just released that recently. And I was going to add, but it's not necessary.
No, go on. What are you going to say?
I mean, he said something about producers adding the thing to the songs, like the sound before the song starts, just to give them credit. DJs do that sometimes. Okay. To copy this too.
Oh my goodness. Please, can we... Peter is joining our conversation this morning, actively sending us messages. Thank you, Peter. So Peter on WhatsApp says, since he recently bagged, so in regard to Wizkid deleting his pictures, since he recently bagged an endorsement deal with one of the first generation banks, he may have something up his sleeves for his fans and the brand. And then he goes on to talk about Techno's talent has not been in doubt. His music instrumentation prowess too is commendable. I hope the jam lives up to expectations. Congrats on his collaboration.
And congrats on that royalty money. Taya sent in this one from Yaba. It's only one song today. What's happening? Public announcement. Artists hustle low. We need to do critic. Osas is keeping it real. Much respect. Congratulations to Techno. That picture of yesteryears with Drake as evidence finally paid off. Okay. And Biggie from K2.
He says someone paid Whiskey to delete his posts. People should stop trolling DJ Copy. She's a sweet cupcake. Some will troll her and still beg her for money. Hashtag free copy.
Well, by the way, most of us know that Whiskey just signed a recent deal with a bank, so it's possible that they're trying to align to the brand's awareness, brand model, whatever it is that they give him as a playbook. But Ziggy from VI sent in a message, says, "Good morning, guys. Just tuning in. Haven't heard the techno-produced song yet, but it's good stuff again for our industry. We are going to be having a lot more of these things now. Hopefully, it helps our artists do better on everything. Good for the industry. On Wiz is getting ready to release MIL album and the usual social media antics now. Okay.
Now, something said Valentine wants me. I want to ask a question.
Well,
How much would you be offered
To-
to delete your social media pictures, your social media presence?
make me an offer.
No, tell me. So you're the one who's making me. How much? What's your asking price?
I'm
What's your
very
price?
flexible. I'm telling you, when it comes to money, what is social media?
Okay, 1 million naira. 1
It's not
million.
like you're deleting your account though. You're just
Yes.
deleting.
So
Picture.
take off your
1
social
million
media
naira.
footprint. No, take off your social media footprint.
Wow.
How much would you? How much is enough to pay?
1 million naira
Yeah,
is enough.
is enough.
Yeah.
Really? No,
Social-
that's my job.
Social
So it would be hard
media,
for me
not
to say
digital
that.
footprint.
Social media presence.
So that's like Instagram, Twitter.
Instagram,
Twitter,
Twitter,
Facebook.
YouTube.
That's my
everything.
job.
So how much?
I don't know.
Yeah, the stakes are higher for you.
Yeah, the
definitely.
stakes are high for me because
Definitely.
I'm that's
Chef
literally
Jeff, how
my
much?
No, there's stakes involved as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
my
So,
bread
yeah,
and
but
butter.
okay, so 1
No,
million.
because we're talking about me showcasing all of my hard work, all of my sweat,
Exactly.
physical sweat,
Mhm.
in the kitchen, whether it's in the gym or just in life in general. And then
So
you're
you
like,
never
I
get to a
should just
point
like
where
take it all off, and then that's it. So then, what are you then?
What are you selling?
You're basically saying, hey, there's nothing to follow me for.
But
to,
that's the same thing that
thousands of
Wizkid has
people.
just done. If indeed, I'm just
Yeah,
saying it's
but-
hypothetical that because it's signed onto a bank, but I'm just saying that how would there be enough money for you to consider actually taking off all your pictures?
They don't know who I am in Australia. At least I presume that they don't, but they know who Wizkid is. So
Yeah.
there's a huge difference. It's not a question for us.
there's such a thing as
Exactly. I ask you.
It's
to
not a
inquire.
question for us.
There's such a thing as refreshing or hitting the refresh button. If you get to a point where you feel like you are not aligning with your vision for your brand, and you decide to take a back step, you might want to do that,
All right.
regardless of if
I've definitely
You will
archived
not-
a lot of posts, but not like the whole thing at
I
once.
need
You're
to
not
do
gonna
that.
delete stuff. You're gonna be like, okay, what's the old stuff that was not in alignment? Okay, we can take those off, but you have everything else that's aligned to it. That's there. That's
Yeah.
basically
My
it.
only worry when I try to do that, or if I ever think of doing that, is data to go back because I have a lot of
Yeah,
pictures
same
on
here.
Instagram.
But let's know what you think. How much is your asking price if you're asked to delete your digital not digital food, social media presence?
Mm.
How much would you take to do that? Well, let's go to Kevin Hart. He's smiling to the bank. He's topped Forbes list of highest paid comedians. Let me not say anything about Forbes. But American actor and stand-up comedian Kevin Hart is now the highest paid stand-up comedian of 2019. We actually have the top 10 list, and something is exciting me here, but I'll keep quiet for now. Now, according to the new Forbes list, Kevin earned $59 million between June 1, 2018 and June 1 of this year. Now, in January, he released a new Netflix special called Irresponsible. He's doing a lot of things and he's making a lot of money.
How many people find Kevin Hart funny?
I do.
I
In
do.
At least his
movies.
past work, I didn't really enjoy Irresponsible, but his past
I
work,
didn't enjoy that.
I
either.
definitely think he's funny. I think he's a great storyteller.
Yeah, he is. He is.
So Jerry Seinfeld was
Yeah.
number one for the longest time.
Yeah.
You would think that someone like that who isn't exactly as active as he used to
Yeah.
be would be off maybe like the fifth or something, but he
Right.
held that number one spot for a very long time.
Mhm.
He has a fleet of expensive cars to show for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just glad that Kevin, who hustles like he really hustles, like he really
Like he
hustles,
breathes.
hustle hard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know, and he's always talking about how he works hard. I mean, look at his squad. People like The Rock, you know, in his corner.
We just got married yesterday, by the way.
The Rock
Congratulations
just
to
got
him.
married?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Mhm.
you didn't know that?
Oh,
Oh,
and,
you need to
I
tell
had
and
us.
that was
no
not
idea.
in the stories. And
I
when
just
said we
told
were
you.
talking
That's
about
why
That's
the
what
story,
we're doing.
Chef
We're
Jeff.
throwing in information. So he
Oh,
got
wow.
married yesterday,
I
and his
had no
brother-in-law was part of was at the wedding.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by
So
the
his
way.
ex-wife's brother.
anyway, still on Kevin Hart.
Okay, go.
That's
So
what we're
yeah, I
saying.
think I'm super happy for him. I mean, hard work pays basically.
it
This is not aspire to acquire to require to perspire type of motivational speech. This is real hard work that we're seeing here.
Yeah.
You know, that has translated. So
Yes,
yeah, good stuff.
You know, Kevin is a hilarious person. He works hard. He's also a pure fifth fan person. So, you know, we always support that kind of vibe there. Yeah, but at the same time, you know, with this list, he has to enjoy it for only a short while because Seinfeld, I mean, for those of you who are younger generation, younger, Seinfeld, who's Seinfeld to you guys, but it was a big deal. It still is a big deal in terms of network shows. Like there was a big social media fight between Friends and Seinfeld fans very recently. And the thing about Jerry Seinfeld is that he's most likely going to move back to the top of this list very soon because he has something coming up on Netflix. And also, I think there's somebody's going to be picking up Seinfeld as well to be showcasing. So the royalty checks are going to be much higher than Kevin Hart. So Kevin Hart can enjoy the moment. And I'm just looking at this list like I have basically 5 years to make this Forbes list at some point in time. You know, so yeah, wish me luck.
You started on
Just-
a good
It's
note.
a serious lesson on just investing, making proper investments, and just
Yeah.
putting the royalty, checks in 12. Because really, I feel like it's from the show that gives him much of the money.
Much
that he
money, yeah.
requires.
Exciting for me was new entry Trevor Noah to top 10. I thought that was
Mm,
fantastic.
yes.
Trevor Noah is in at $28 million. I
Number
think he's
4 actually.
yeah.
Number
So
4.
if you're looking for a funny man, that's one person. I think he's spontaneous, he's intelligent, he's very funny, and obviously definitely give him props for that.
Amy
And then-
Schumer made number 7 as well. She's the only,
Yeah, the only
woman in
female.
there with 21 million.
Yeah, so
So,
that's the
yeah.
one I was excited about. That we have a female comedian in there, and she has worked hard. That's another person that's worked really hard.
Wait,
She's done so much work.
No, there have been
21 million?
21 million.
That's about the amount that Desani put.
No, that's $40 million. Though. Don't even joke with
No,
that.
no. 20.
Wow.
It's 40. Go and check
The
it.
phone.
Yes.
alone. You already said.
Anyway, it's not the
I'll
first
show
time.
you.
It's not the first time that a woman's been in the top
list.
minute. We've had the likes of Whoopi Goldberg, Jeannie
Yeah.
Garofalo as well, Bette Midler from way back in the day.
Yeah.
So, but it's still nice that there's somebody else for each on the
Yeah.
opposite side.
And it's been a while though, because how long ago did we have a female in top 10?
I didn't do that research, did you?
But you're the one who's giving us the fact.
Yeah.
Let's go to the messages.
All right.
Angie sent him this one on WhatsApp. Say, yo, I change my grid every quarter for free. I guess he's talking about
Oh,
Instagram
Instagram grid.
page.
Yeah.
it's a 1 million and it's all gone. With my ADD and my love for switching it up, 1 million would do the trick. Kevin has worked for that spot. I hope he maintains it.
Yeah.
Peter Tulufari says Kevin Hart has been hustling. He's quite funny in his own right. He deserves the spot for the period he's on it.
Absolutely. And then TB from Ebuti Meta says, don't have a lot of presence on social media or make money from it. So 10 million, TB will yourself. 10 million naira is a good offer for me to delete.
Oh,
All right, okay, so let's go. This is a heartwarming story, and I think it's a good way to end our stories for today. Young Nigerian filmmakers go viral for shooting sci-fi movie with a smartphone. So science fiction movie with a smartphone. A group of young Nigerian filmmakers have gone viral, and what they said is that they actually saved up money to do this. The group includes an 8-year-old. They broke the internet following a short Reuters documentary highlighting their work. They are called The Critics. They made their first film, Redemption, in 2016. And what really made me smile was this part where they revealed that they saved for a month to buy the green fabric for the chroma key and taught themselves how to do visual effects by watching tutorials on YouTube.
Oh,
very
Yeah.
heartwarming.
so cute.
I retweeted this on YouTube, this story, so you go check it out on Twitter on my page if you want to see it. Really, it's a fantastic story. These are people who are young entrepreneurial minds. I mean, like some of them are barely under 10 and they're still in school, that kind of thing, and they're able to take things to this level. We have a massive gap in our film industry that these guys have showcased something that you would never have expected, and the quality is like basically Matrix quality. That's what they've been able to put together here, and I think that it's gonna be a game changer. I love that the fact that somebody put together a crowd source funding thing for them, and then they were able to raise about $6,000. And I was worried that okay, somebody's gonna come in, some parent somewhere or whatever, and just take that money. But it looked like they took that money and they bought more equipment to invest into this thing. So their main thing right now is juggling school and this project. I love that it came from Kaduna. Not every time Lagos should be the story or focus on everything right now.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful entrepreneurial thing. I think a lot of people who are icons of the industry are going to be looking at these guys and thinking, wow, okay, how do we get on board with this? Because we need to offer more in what we're doing. We need to offer more. Please hook up with these guys, Nii Akimolayo, and let's see what kind of science fiction thing you can do for us. That's what I would say.
That's a good call, and it for once, when this news broke about 5 days ago, it made me feel happy, especially with the kind of stories that hit us over the weekend of young entrepreneurs, Nigerian entrepreneur that embarrassed us in the US. But so glad to hear this kind of story.
All right, fantastic. That's all we can take right now. But Sai on this story says, I still watch that clip on IG and I'm blown away. It just shows how creative our minds can be when we put it to task. Kudos to them, and I pray they get all of their aspirations achieved. Thanks, Sai.
Special thanks to you, Solomon from Akoka, for sending me a message, and Easy for your messages on WhatsApp.
And special thanks to our analyst for today, Chef Jeff 3000. Plug out.
Yeah, find me on Twitter and Instagram at ChefJeff3000. And MI from Akoka, how far? You've been very quiet lately now. We like to remind our MVPs that we've always got our minds on them. So yeah.
Emma was listening. He sent in a message.
Oh, okay,
he
good.
did. You guys didn't read it out,
Good.
so we didn't
know.
Oh, there you go. See?
did.
See? So yes, Twitter, Instagram at ChefJeff3000. I'll see you again right here on the Grapevine on Smooth 98.1.
Thank you, Delphin.
You can find me on YouTube. I'm very much active there lately. It's the Delphinator TV, and I'm also on Instagram at the Delphinator.
Nice. And shout out to Titi who's observing today, and hopefully she joins us for the next show live.
All right, Lagos, that's all we can take for this morning. But stay tuned, 9 o'clock, Lagos Talks 981 with our story from earlier today. Stay tuned.
Grapevine on the Smooth Show.